Good afternoon and welcome to today's session. Co-host of the event today. Let me introduce today's presenter, Mr. Vishal Shah, CEO and co-founder of Cinesoft Technologies. He is known as seasoned technology stalwart, an inventor of specific patented technologies, a writer, a serial entrepreneur, an investor, and most importantly, a go-to guy for MSMEs. This webinar is about unknown facts of BLACKbox. It is a brainchild of Mr. Vishal. In this candid interaction, he will reveal interesting facts about BLACKbox that are largely unknown. It will be an engaging session of failure stories, customer persona, less known features, hidden technologies, and black buyback policies. It's all about our journey of challenging the traditions, discovering our own way to solve problems in an out of box way. We assure that it will be insightful and interesting for you. If you have any questions while you watch this demonstration, kindly write in the question and answer tab in the bottom of your Zoom login. The questions will be taken up at the end of the session. Alternatively, in case you want to ask any question in the end of the session, you may please raise your hand and we shall activate your microphone to ask the question. Vishal sir, can you please take it ahead from here?
Thank you, Prasanna. Yeah, good afternoon all. Today we are going to have a session on webinar on unknown facts about BLACKbox. We have been doing this session in every March at the end of the year. So as we have got the feedback, we repeat this kind of session. Of course, the content is changed and it is very, very impromptu. At the same time, we receive the feedback from many of our attendees that this particular session helps them in designing their own products in whichever industry they belong to very well. As well as there are many IT professionals who share with us that this kind of webinar can help us in understanding certain not so marketed or not so highlighted features of BLACKbox. So for both the types of audience, we repeat this session in the end of the March every year. So this is something I just wanted to brief you about the background and why we are conducting this session. So in this session, we will go through the journey, how we have designed BLACKbox, what was our design thinking, what was our vision, where we failed and how we solved those problems. And then we will also look at certain hidden facts about the BLACKbox, and throughout all the slides, there would be such facts revealed. So before we start, let me, I request Prasanna to launch the poll. At least we should know the composition of our attendees. Yeah, as we see the poll results, 17% are the owners or custodian of the enterprise data. 50% are IT professionals managing SME IT infrastructure. And 33% are the system integrators or IT consultants helping SMEs. So we have a very, very relevant crowd over here. And we will move to our next session, which is about how we started, what is our vision, and what are our failure stories. So we started in 2008. We had a concept of BLACKbox in our mind, and we had the problems, difficulties, and challenges faced by Indian MSMEs in our mind. We always wanted to solve those problems, and that is how we had designed or started designing BLACKbox in 2008. So our vision for Indian MSME was in those days, which is almost 15 years ago, that MSMEs were going to play a very, very important role in the economic development of India. They will be the largest taxpayers, largest employment creators, and largest contributors to GDP and exports of India. They will be competing on global standards, and they will require to adopt technology in its latest form. In order to adopt technology in its latest form, they will need to have very standard IT infrastructure. When we looked at what were the options available to Indian MSMEs in those days to standardize their IT infrastructure, to digitize their operations, and to protect their data from loss, leakage, and theft, most of the solutions available in those days were actually designed for very large enterprises, and they were designed with a perspective of a large scale usage. MSMEs found it very complex. They found it expensive also. And such technologies were having so many features which MSMEs would have never required. So we went back to the drawing board and we actually conceptualized this particular product, BLACKbox, where our design thinking was to make it cost effective and to make it simple. And that's how we have designed single hardware, single software, which serves most of the IT standardization, data protection, and information security objectives of an MSME, so that the MSME is able to compete on global standards and grow. So this was our vision behind designing BLACKbox. I will share with you some great moments, and I will also share some failure moments. So we had a pilot of this particular product. We did this pilot in one of the pharma companies in Ahmedabad. In those days, Government of India was looking for Indian entrepreneurs, technocrats who have patents and IPRs, and they wanted to support them so that Indian products can be promoted on global diaspora. We came across such an opportunity and we participated in a program called India Innovates Growth Program in year 2011. Our prototype of BLACKbox, we call it T-Mail BLACKbox in those days, was awarded gold medal, cash prize, and we got seed funding from Government of India. We got incubation from IIM Ahmedabad. We are still a portfolio company of Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. So that was all good moment for us, all Eureka moment for us. We thought that we have cracked the deal and we have a product basically we have a product which will be very successful. Our design of this particular product was very futuristic, and in those days we kept entire console on the cloud and we were putting only hardware at the customer's place in order to serve the customers better. And that was our concept. And let me tell you, that started with our failure story. We miserably failed with this kind of business model where our console was on the cloud and device was on the premise of the customer for three reasons. One, in those days, internet was not very easily available. Internet bandwidth was expensive. So dependency on cloud console is dependency on internet. And that was the problem. And our product was not performing well in those days. Second problem was these MSMEs, it was all pre-GST era. India is known for running two parallel economies, and most of the MSMEs were part of it. So they were very skeptical about putting their data on the cloud. So that was the reason our product was not very well accepted in the target market, which was actually the target market for our kind of products. And the third was, in those days, piracy was also so rampant that MSMEs in those days did not know the value of the software. They thought that software is a free, available free. It is, you buy 100 rupees CD and you get a lot of software. So that was a mindset in those days. And we were charging the customer for cloud console. We were charging the customer for hardware. And that was a serious issue. And we miserably failed. This was our failure story. But still we had a conviction, and we thought that we need to scale this particular barrier. And that's how we decided that we will load our console inside the device only, so that customer is not dependent on cloud or internet. We also decided that our hardware will be so powerful and resourceful so that customer will feel that he is getting something in hand, he is getting something very tangible, and that's how he will be ready to pay for it. And actually this worked in our favor, and that's how our product BLACKbox took off in late 2013 after we made these changes. So it started with a vision that MSMEs will need this kind of product. It started with the development of a futuristic product. And if you look at our current version of the BLACKbox, it is very much near to where we started. And it started with a failure because we were probably ahead of time due to internet difficulties, due to parallel economy, due to a perception about the software value. We corrected those problems and we redesigned the product. And in 2013, we started selling this product. There was flourishing sale for this product since then, and rest is the history. Now we will move to the next part, which is about the features. And before we move to the next part, I would like to tell you, since majority of the attendees are from IT background, let me tell you about certain very, very simple challenge most of the IT managers or IT strategists face, especially when they are serving to the MSMEs, which are not technology companies. All non-IT companies like manufacturers, service providers, manufacturer of chemicals, pharmaceuticals, biotechnology companies, engineering companies, so many companies. These non-tech companies have non-tech users. And when a tech guy has to handle non-tech users, there are funny things happening, there are serious things happening. And most of the times, it is so frustrating for IT fraternity, IT professionals fraternity. So we have made a small video, and I would like to display that video, which will tell what is the problem most of the IT people, face when they are dealing with the users of non-IT organizations. So I request Rajendra to play the video, please.
When breaking the rules is a choice, people will break the rules. When users don't follow rule to save data on central storage and keep saving data on individual devices, it becomes big challenge for IT manager to take backup of every device. How about this? What if we could take away their choice to break the rules? We have done it. When you have BLACKbox, users have to save data in central storage only. They are not given choice of breaking rules. This avoids duplication of data and eases job for IT manager to back up data. And most importantly, you are 100% confident that all your data is fully centralized and fully backed up. Nothing is left.
Yeah, thank you, Rajendra. So this was something which probably could be endorsed by most of the IT professionals, that many a times we instruct the users about specific a to-do specific not to-do list, but they don't do that. And many a times there is a loss to the organization in terms of data security. Most of the times IT fraternity is blamed for that. So there are such many problems which we have found out. And our study was based on a very simple customer persona, where we wanted to design a product for a vertical, which is industrial vertical, which is manufacturing, architecture or construction, design or engineering, biotech or pharmaceuticals, stockbrokers, automation, and instrumentation and control. So most of these companies are generating a lot of IPR, and their digital assets are very important and are to be protected from loss, leakage, and theft. This particular product is designed for the companies who have 5 to 100 crore turnover, or maybe in users terms, they have 10 plus users and less than 150 users. It also helps MSMEs on various use cases. Like there are many MSMEs which are subject to compliance obligation. You know, their own customers want them to comply with information security systems. They want them to get through certain audits. So BLACKbox helps them in compliance obligation. BLACKbox helps them in avoiding any competitive exploitation by information security practices and policies. BLACKbox also helps them in assuring their own business continuity by preventing loss of data. BLACKbox also helps them by cost minimization of hardware part. BLACKbox is a single hardware and it eliminates so many hardware. BLACKbox also helps MSMEs to save a lot of software cost. And because it is very simple, MSMEs don't need to hire highly talented IT professionals. Very commonly available desktop engineers or junior level IT engineers can very well manage it. So it also solves the problem of an MSME, which is about IT talent affordability and retention challenges. Now, most of the attendees would resonate with me that, you know, there are some certain very small things, you know, which can lead to very, very big losses to the organization. And one of them is about basically deletion of the data. Most of the MSME users work on common project folders or common department folders in which they have data on the network or on the cloud, and they are shared among the users. Many a times, this data could be deleted accidentally by a user, or many a times this kind of data can be deleted intentionally by the user. It is very simple. User just clicks or maybe uses shift plus delete keys, and all the data is lost. An organization cannot continue the business. So very small things, you know, small actions by the user can cause very, very serious consequences. And that is where there is another example where we have innovation. So the first video which you have seen was about autocratic centralization. So that is the problem which we faced. We saw that most of the MSMEs are facing, where IT manager has to instruct them to save data on the central storage, which could be their file server, which could be their NAS device, but users might do it, might not do it. So BLACKbox is a technology which makes that particular entire action of the user autocratic. So user has no choice. He has to save the data on the central location. There is no choice. So that is what we had seen in this video. We will see another video which is more entertaining, and we will understand the problem of deletion and how we can solve this particular problem. Of course, deletion is a very, very short action, but it has a very long-term impact. We are going to play these videos because they are also part of our innovation. We have won many awards for this kind of videos where we are explaining the things to the MSMEs in a very layman language. So before I move to the next slide, I request Rajendra to play the next video, please.
BLACKbox forcefully centralizes all the data and maintains active recycle bin. Any deleted data falls in active recycle bin and kept for specific time period. Users do not have access to this active recycle bin. Enterprise can instantly restore accidentally deleted data from active recycle bin without losing business continuity. BLACKbox also indicates who modified or deleted data. If user intentionally deletes the data, enterprise can instantly find out who deleted data. Don't lose data if it's accidentally or intentionally deleted.
So this was about accidental or intentional deletion, where we have developed this technology which can help in instantly recovering the data, as well as it will tell us who has done that. And especially when you are operating on a cloud, it is very difficult to find out who has done it. But here you can. So now we will look at certain less known features. The first one is device hardening. Device hardening is something where you can apply the policy of the organization. Now, I'll tell you, this can be done by having a domain controller, having an Active Directory services that it to be loaded on a hardware, and one has to configure everything. It can also be done without all this. It has device hardening is an inbuilt feature in BLACKbox, and that is what we talk about as device hardening. It enforces the policy. Let's say you want the user to use certain software only on his computer. You want user to be accessing certain websites only. You want user to be able to access as a user, not as an admin. You want to exclude the control panel access. You want to make sure that whenever user is saving the data, it has to be saved on central location. It cannot be saved on his own computer system. You want that user can access only certain VPN, nothing else. So all this is device hardening, and BLACKbox is inbuilt. Now why this technology is better than domain controller and Active Directory? Because when the user is out of your network, when user is not in your domain environment, when he goes out, all these policies, many of these policies cannot be extended on the users. But BLACKbox works on an agent technology where agent is always installed on the user's computer. So when user is not connected with the BLACKbox over local area network or VPN, those policies will be still in place, and that would be enforced by the agent. So that is where it's an element of innovation. Another key feature is data restore confidence. We can very well restore the data from deletion. BLACKbox has one very different technology, which we call it primary and hidden chamber, which is far better than RAID controls and traditional backup systems, where data is stored in primary and it is also stored in hidden chamber. Hidden chamber is logically disconnected from primary chamber. And when data is taken from primary chamber to hidden chamber, primary chamber is also cut off from the environment. So if there is a ransomware attack, it will only affect the primary chamber. It will not affect the hidden chamber. And when ransomware attack happens, and let's say it is successful, it bypasses the firewall and antivirus, still you have your data in the hidden chamber, you can restore it and you can continue your business. It has got email shadowing facility, which is not known to everyone. Most of us use Google Workspace, Office 365, GoDaddy kind of email systems. Most of our emails are either in Outlook PST files or Thunderbird files or on the cloud. We don't have the backup. When user deletes the files from the Outlook, or when the user deletes the files from the webmail, or sorry, emails from the webmail, they are gone. BLACKbox has email shadowing facility where you can connect BLACKbox with your email service provider, and BLACKbox will shadow all the emails of all the users automatically. And in case user deletes the emails before quitting the job, you can very well restore all that from email shadow. It has also a less known feature which we call it DNS splitter. DNS splitter is a very, very cost effective technology where now let's say we pay Google Workspace or O365 where per user per year kind of things. They are loaded with a lot of features. They are more than an email system, Google Workspace or O365. Now, most of the MSMEs have hardly 20% of the users who use all these additional extraordinary features. And 80% of the users only require email system. That's it. They should be able to send emails. They should be able to receive emails. That's it. So many a times when all the users are created on Google Workspace or O365, they have to pay for all, but most of the times these users don't use all the services. So it is almost waste of money. So here we have created a DNS splitting technology, which is also called hybrid technology, where certain important users can remain on Google or Microsoft, and rest of the users, without changing your domain name, without changing your MX records, can remain on BLACKbox, which provides them simple email service. By doing so, you will only spend money on Google Workspace or O365 or such premium cloud service providers only for those 20% of the users, and for the rest of the 80% of the users, your cost would be reduced by at least 80%. And that's how you can very well save the cost. Apart from that, there is a feature called happy hours, where most of the times there is a challenge in the firewall. When user is out of firewall network, or let's say user connects to the internet using hotspot, sitting in the office, all firewall policies are useless. Here it doesn't happen. BLACKbox is an agent-based system. So when user goes out of the network or even connects his computer system through hotspot, still those internet control policies are applied. And the happy hours is a very innovative technology. It is like a room where one door opens to internet and another door opens to data. When door to the internet is opened, door to the data is locked, and window to very limited internet is opened. And when door to the data is opened, door to the internet is opened, door to the data is locked. Similarly, when user is accessing the data, internet is available for very limited number of sites like banking site or GST website or income tax website, such very limited site where there is no potential of data leakage. Now, let's say user has to access something like Google Drive, or he has to access something like Dropbox or his own personal email for whatever reason. In that case, he can access it only if he logs into happy hours. And when he logs into the happy hours, all those sites can be opened, but the data will be isolated. Data will not be available, so there won't be any potential leakage. So this is something which is very, very innovative technology. Along with that, we have a dual profile technology. Most of the times, MSMEs users have their own personal computers on which they work from home. Here, an MSMEs cannot afford to provide laptops to all the users for many reasons. And here, when users are using their own personal laptop and then they're saving the company's data on their personal laptop, every MSME owner or IT professional is concerned about the safety of that data, security of that data, integrity of that data. Here, BLACKbox duo profiling technology actually creates two profiles on user's personal computer. One is personal profile where he's free to use the computer the way he wants and there won't be any policy, as well as he will not be monitored. And in the another profile, which is work profile, user can work on his laptop with all the enterprise policies, device hardening, monitoring on, and that is how organization can make sure that its data is secured. BLACKbox also offers the AAA product line of BLACKbox. We call it Access Application Anywhere. Offers application virtualization, which actually replaces remote desktop. Many a times when we want to extend the access of our applications to a remote user or to a traveling user or to a work from home users, we normally set up a terminal server. We create a VPN and we ask user to connect to that by remote desktop and then use that particular application remotely. There are 2 3 problems in this. First problem is it is not secure. Many a times RDP protocol serves as a backdoor for ransomware. Two, you have to invest in a terminal server, which is expensive on hardware part. There is no limit on what kind of hardware you will require for a terminal server or RDP server. You have to continue to expand it. And the third is the RDP CAL licenses. It is a huge cost. You can avoid that cost by application virtualization of BLACKbox, where we have done it very smartly. We do not virtualize the server side application. We only virtualize the client side application. And that virtualized client side application is loaded on user's computer system. And just by transferring the keyboard strokes and mouse clicks, the user can use that virtual application client, and it can be done on SAP, it can be done on Tele or any homegrown client server application, which could be ERP, HRMS, CRM, whatever. BLACKbox has one very unknown feature, which is productivity monitoring, and we are working hard on that. Right now, this BLACKbox can capture the screens and upload on the on itself. Agent can upload it on the BLACKbox server, and you can actually see what was happening on every computer, whatever for whatever date. We are also adding so many other reports, like how much time user has used which application, how much time user was active, and all these things are added over a period of time as a part of our R&D. BLACKbox is also supplied with integrated power management system. We understand that hardware are prone to power conditions. And when your data is stored in BLACKbox, and if BLACKbox is affected by any power condition, you might lose your valuable data. So all BLACKboxes are supplied with integrated power management system with a UPS, which is programmed for BLACKbox. So in case there is a power condition problem, the UPS will send the signal to BLACKbox to save all the open files and shut it down safely, so that in case there is a power condition, BLACKbox is not shut down in hard way and data is safe. So these are the features which are very unknown features, less known features we can say, but they can give benefits related to lower hardware and software cost. They can give benefit about, you can be very confident about your business continuity plan. You know that in case there is any problem like deletion or infection or disaster, I will be able to recover the data. You can also have very good control on your email system in terms of users cannot misuse to steal the data, as well as you can also have email shadowing so that you are not worried about your important communication being deleted by the users. Bring your own device with security, as I've explained in dual profile, is also another benefit. Application virtualization takes very less bandwidth, so it can save bandwidth also. And playback office, which we call is as productivity monitoring, or in case you have to investigate. So in nutshell, these less known features reduce the hardware cost by 55%, reduce the software cost by 70%, reduce the email subscription cost by 70%, and reduce the bandwidth subscription or bandwidth utilization by 50%. So these are less known features of the BLACKbox. Before I move to the next session, we will see a video. Basically, this video tells you so many things. What is BLACKbox? We call it as single hardware, single software system, or we call it as single agent, single cloud system, or one agent, one cloud system. So basically, it is an all-in-one system. You don't need separate hardware for file server, mail distribution system, domain controller, Active Directory, storage, for endpoint control servers, for auto backup systems. You don't need separate hardware or software for that. BLACKbox has everything integrated in single hardware, and all these software like file services, backup services, domain controlling services are inbuilt in a single software. So you have a complete single integrated view of your dashboard, and you can very well use it. So before we move to the next slide, I request Rajendra to please share the video. This is another innovative and entertaining way of making video and to convey the message and explain the concept.
Looking for solutions to standardize IT and prevent data loss, leakage, and theft? Enterprise needs to invest in file server, firewall VPN, domain controller, endpoint controller, backup solution, storage device, DLP solutions, and remote access server to standardize IT and prevent loss, leakage, and theft of data. It is expensive to invest in so many IT solutions. It is complex to integrate and maintain so many IT solutions. It is difficult to deal with so many vendors. Do you know the concept of IT in a box? Do you know that you don't have to invest in multiple IT systems to standardize IT and prevent loss, leakage, and theft of data? Meet BLACKbox, IT in a box for MSMEs. BLACKbox is a single hardware, single software solution which serves as multiple IT solutions. It serves as file server, firewall VPN, domain controller, endpoint controller, backup solution, storage device, DLP solutions, and remote access server to standardize IT and prevent loss, leakage, and theft of data. You don't need to deal with multiple vendors. And of course, there is no blame game. The best part is, it does not cost the bomb.
So these are some small entertaining video and meaningful videos. Now we'll move to the next part of this particular session. So what powers all this? There are so many hidden technologies, and for which we have, got IPR, intellectual property rights. So one is autocratic centralization, where we control the save dialog box of every application, and we do not allow the user to save anything which is to be stored centrally. We have a data isolation technology, IPR, in which when user connects to an internet on a website which is not allowed to him by the admin, the data is automatically isolated, which is used in happy hours. Then we have primary and hidden chamber technology. I had explained. Again, that technology has a DC-DC protocol, disconnect, connect, disconnect, connect protocol, which is powered by certain IPRs. Dual profiling technology, it happens everything automatic, and you can manage both the profiles remotely, through the console on the cloud or the console in premise. It also deploys many technologies which has bandwidth optimization in remote access. And we have so many IPRs in email header parsing, where we parse the header and we deliver it to, either a full service email box or a black box email box to save the email subscription cost. So it imparts a lot of practicality. Actually, it imparts a lot of practicality, and we follow certain practical approach. And most popular of them is maximum control, minimum monitoring. See, this is the difference between an MSME or a large enterprise. Large enterprise will have an IT team, IT department, and a lot of data can be generated by the IT systems, and such an IT team would be actually going through that data, analyzing that data, and actually becoming proactive or taking certain decisions related to IT security or IT compliances or a breach. In MSME, it does not happen, So we have approached this particular design thinking in terms of maximum control, minimum monitoring. So if we can control something, we do not have to monitor it. So similarly, most of our policies are control policies, And when, let's say, for example, if we decide that 20% or 50% of the users we can send email only internally, and most of the times it is true for an MSME operation, then we don't have to really monitor them. So it is maximum control, minimum monitoring. So Blackbox requires minimum monitoring. Wherever it's required, it generates the reports, and those reports are insightful to know about the health of the data protection and information security policies. It has on-demand, unrestricted internet minimum required website. So many a times it saves a lot of bandwidth. Very unknown feature is blind carbon copy intercept. Blind carbon copy can be used to steal the data anytime, and Blackbox actually controls that also. I have explained screen capture, DNS splitter technology is also available. We have also data deleter identifier, means whoever has deleted the data, we can find out. We have another unknown feature. Mostly people either disable the USB or enable the USB, but we have a lot of strategies in that. So you can disable the USB, but still allow USB keyboard mouse on. You can keep the USB only for inbound traffic. Only you can copy data inbound from USB to your network, but you can prohibit the outbound data. From your network to USB, you can prohibit that. So it gives a lot of flexibilities to the IT strategist. And of course, email shadowing, which is very important, because many a times it is very difficult to take the backup of PST files. It is very difficult if the user deletes the data from the PST file to restore those old emails. So it has email shadowing facility also. And these are the hidden technologies which are powered by very powerful IPR or patents, and they are very practical. So this is something which I thought it would be interesting for all our attendees to know. We will check one more video where we can say that how DLP, by using maximum control and minimum monitoring, how we can achieve DLP. What we mean by DLP means DLP, data leakage prevention. We want to make sure that data is not leaked. It generates a lot of data, a lot of audit trails, but who is there to monitor it in MSME? Nobody. So in that case, we have completely different approach, and that particular approach will be shown in the next video in very entertaining way. And most of the MSMEs can actually apply such strategies and make sure that their data is not vulnerable to competitive exploitation. So I request Rajendra to launch the video before we move to the next part.
Are you concerned about the data leakage causing losses? Most enterprises are vulnerable to insider threats, unsuspecting smart users who leak designs, drawings, tenders, documents, costings, etc. Do you wonder how come your data is leaked through everything looks normal? Do you want to stop it? Data can be leaked over USB port. Data can be leaked over email attachment. Data can be leaked over the internet. Email monitoring and vigilance, USB control policy, data isolation over internet. Blackbox is an ultimate insider threat mitigation solution. Your data is not the cake anyone can eat.
So we are moving to the last part of the session, where I would like to tell you about some unknown policies which are very much trend setting in the industry, basically. So we will see some customer first policies we apply, and I'm proud to express that our competitors are far behind us in this kind of policies, which customer centric view. So when you buy a black box, and let's say after some time your organization has grown in terms of data or in terms of number of users, and you want to buy a higher capacity black box. Most of the times when you buy something in hardware, you have to buy new, and by that time the cost or value of the hardware, old hardware, would have gone down. There won't be any taker for that. We have a commitment of full price buyback of old solution on upgradation to new solution. So basically, after your device is 36 months old and before your device is 60 months old, you can actually approach us for upgradation of your black box. You can pay for the new device and you will get back all you have paid for the old device. What does it mean? It means that you have taken a new device and we have bought back or your old device by paying you whatever you have paid actually. So whatever number of years you have used that particular device is completely free. Whatever depreciation you have claimed for that particular device is also a benefit. So this is something where we are the only people who give this kind of who have this kind of customer centric policy. We have in the buyback, we always remind the customers to exercise their buyback so that they can continue with the latest technology, latest hardware, and they can change the hardware before it reaches end of life. When the customer opts for the buyback, we also give them all data migration, reinstallation, everything free of cost. You can opt for 5-year hardware warranty. By default, BLACKbox has 3 years hardware warranty. You can take 2 more years of extended hardware warranty. And when your device is basically under warranty and something happens to that, we always provide standby devices. So these are our customer first policies, which are different from most of the industry players in our industry. There are certain hidden facts that BLACKbox is an appreciating product. Basically, most of the IT products are not appreciating. Let's say you take a laptop today, and after 3 years, if you want to sell that laptop, you will not realize anything. You will not realize anything in value of that particular laptop. Here, every 6 months, the price of BLACKbox increases. Every 6 months, the price of BLACKbox increases. And when the price of BLACKbox increases, your product appreciates. We have very powerful knowledge center, and in which we do SME focused webinars. The effective cost of the BLACKbox is just 200 to 300 rupees per user per month if you take a 5 years horizon. We also offer 0% EMI option on credit card payments, and we have very well managed BLACKbox Academy, which runs BLACKbox certification programs for IT managers, for IT professionals, for aspiring engineers. And they can actually learn how to use BLACKbox, how to manage BLACKbox, how to install BLACKbox, and become an entrepreneur, or can actually increase the strength of the resume. So these are the things which are not known very much, and these are the trend-setting policies and hidden facts about the BLACKbox. So I request Prasanna to launch the poll, and then we will take up question answers. If you have, you can very well ask the questions in the question answer palette, or you can request to unmute yourself by raising the hand. So Prasanna, can you launch the poll, and then we can go to the question answers. So as we see on the screen, 67% of the attendees understand that cybersecurity compliance obligation by their own customers is an important use case, relevant use case. All the attendees understand that data leakage prevention to stop competitive exploitation is a use case. All attendees understand that data loss prevention for business continuity maintenance is also something where, and 67% agree that minimization of software and hardware cost is a relevant use case. So it is thank you very much for your inputs. We can take up the questions. You can either type your question in Q&A or you can raise your hand and ask your question. Somebody has typed, Manoj Thakur has typed the question in the chat. If you could type it in the question answers, it would benefit everyone. I will still take that question. We have a black box device and have upgraded the same last year. We also have Windows 12 server where your ERP package is working with SQL on that server. The same is routed through black box and the SQL database is saved in device 2. We were told that now Tally can be installed on black box version. Can we install our ERP package here? See, black box is basically a device which does not have a Windows environment. So any ERP, including TFAT, will require Windows environment, Windows Server environment. So unfortunately, you cannot install TFAT on black box, but you can install Tally because we have worked closely with black box with Tally because Tally is very, very widely used ERP system, and we thought that it is worth investing in R&D and making it run on the black box. So yes, you can install Tally, but you cannot install TFAT on black box because it requires Windows environment. Yeah, any other questions? You can write it in the question answer session, or you can raise your hand and we will unmute. We will activate your mic. So we have next 3-4 minutes. Yeah, we have a question. If we have single user Tally Prime. See, again, a black box is an infrastructure product. Whatever software you install on that, it will have to comply with the licensing policy of the OEM or the vendor of the software. So if it is a single user Tally Prime, you can still install on black box, but only one user can use it because it is a single user license. So Tally won't allow concurrent users to work on it. Black box will allow the installation of Tally, and it will, whatever licenses are enabled, whatever licenses are allowed by the Tally, it will work. Yeah, we have 2-3 more minutes. We can take a few more questions. Mr. Satish is asking Blackbox support in Windows XP. No, sir. Windows XP, Blackbox had a version which was supporting Windows XP, but now the agent is deployed, which is not supporting Windows XP. Windows XP is too vulnerable, and it gives a lot of problems. So we don't have Windows XP support right now. In 2013, I think until 2016, we had extended the support for Windows XP, but now overall updates are not. Can we install Tally in any laptop or desktop and protect by Blackbox client agent? You can install Tally in any laptop and desktop, and you can very well use the Blackbox agent so that the data of the Tally is not taken out on USB, email, or internet, and the data is backed up properly on cloud or on the local area network of Tally, so that your data is protected. So ideally, yes, you can have Tally, you can install in laptop or desktop and protect it by client agent. Yeah, you can do this. I mean, BLACKbox can install Tally, does not mean that you have to install it on. There are many customers, who run a Tally server or who use such desktop or Tally license on their individual computer. They don't use it, but yes, they configure BLACKbox to take the backup of Tally. They configure the desktop or laptop such that the data is protected. Yeah, Prasanna, you can conclude. In case there is any question, I'll take it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for such a detailed, insightful, and knowledgeable session about BLACKbox. I hope you all have learned and enjoyed the presentation. On behalf of Cinesoft, I thank everyone for attending the session. Please fill the survey form, which you will get at the end of the session, to give us your valuable feedback. Thanks again.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your attention and attendance to this webinar. Thank you very much.